Hey guys, it's Felstreams today, coming at you with a Fungalmancer video from Hearthstone Battlegrounds. I like this hero, but he's very dependent on the card draws. It's hard to grow him properly if you don't get the cards that you need because of his hero power. You'll see in the video kind of what I'm talking about that. He's a fun hero. He's really strong when you get the card draws you want. The other thing I wanted to mention is I'm streaming New World. I got into the alpha. The game is Amazon's New World, which is releasing, I think, sometime in April. But I'll be streaming that most nights throughout the week at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Alright, that being said, here we go, guys. We got about the 20-second countdown. I would have to say that that's probably my least favorite part of Battlegrounds, is all of the waiting. I understand why you have to do it and stuff like that, but it just sometimes takes forever. So, turn one. Looks like we're going against a couple of decent heroes here. We should be able to do our thing, but you can already kind of tell what kind of game it's going to be because I get no Murlocs on my first turn. So I decide to go with the refreshing anomaly or whatever he's called so that I get a free refresh on the tavern next turn, the turn after, or whenever I decide to do it. Fungalmancer, if you're not getting the Murlocs, you kind of have to play him as you would play like a hero with like a really garbage hero power that's not going to do anything for you. I probably should have waited on that refresh until after I went up to tier 4 or tier 2. But these are things that I know now that when this video was recorded, which was a few weeks ago, I didn't know. And I really liked my emotes back then. I don't think I realized what kind of a harasser I was being when I would play them. And I don't know what's going through my mind here, thinking that I shouldn't take anything other than that guy. I mean, he's a Murloc. I can't boost a Murloc with him, but at the very least, I can sell him and get my tavern to have a Murloc at tier 2 or tier 3 or something. I probably should have just gone up to tier 2. I mean, I'm doing well so far. I'm getting the wins and the rounds and stuff, but it's early on, and I've been lucky I've gotten some high health heroes. And then here we go with turn 5. I could have taken the micro mummy there, and at this point I get pretty lucky. I get a couple of scouts. So I have the token that's created that I could sell. I should freeze here so that I can take the other, whatever his name is, I forget what his name is, so that I have the second little 1/1 that I can sell off to get another Murloc when I go up to tier 3. Again, these are things that I know now that back then when I played I didn't know. And I'm still doing relatively well. I'm going to take the loss here because I don't have enough damage to overcome. I mean, I was 1 damage off, which is okay. And then here we go. I got more Murlocs. The guy in the middle is the guy that I should take because he's the one that you beef up. And I don't know what I was thinking by going up. I should have just kept the board the way it was. And again, I don't know what I'm thinking. I should freeze that, take all 3 of them, get the triple, and beef up my little booster guy. But again, lessons that I've learned later on in the game that I didn't know then, because that would be a lot of damage for that Murloc. He would be very strong. I think a lot of what happened to me early in the game is I got caught up in the idea that it was a 2-1, so its value was only dependent on its attack and health. I didn't quite understand the value of this card spawns a token, which can then this token then can be used to get a gold and gold transferal of minions and stuff like that. And then obviously this guy's decent to give +1/+1 to a Murloc, which I don't know if that's the right guy to give it to, but and again, I sell the 2-1 instead of selling the 1-1. Things I know now that I didn't know back then. And that Murloc is not my favorite Murloc, but again, I should have kept him and sold the little 3-1 guy because health of my Murlocs and stuff needs to increase, which I realize this now. And I think that is what eventually adds up to me losing. There were a couple of opportunities where I could have probably gotten 3 or 4 Murlocs played into Bob's Tavern at this point if I had bought the scouts, I think, or whatever they're called early on in the game. And at this point, people are just, their health is scaling beyond what my damage is able to do to them. I did pretty good with that guy. So I'm still kind of in it, but I think we're at the point where it starts to turn for me. I really should have gone up to Tavern Tier 3 at this point. I have no idea why I sold that guy. Just to get another. I think what I'm doing is I'm just putting Murlocs up to boost the one guy. And instead of understanding that he will, like, I can get a triple and he'll be stronger from that, and not understanding the value of the little hunter Murloc there, that little guy with the 2 that spawned from him, that is my biggest mistake early on playing Fungalmancer. And here I am at the point with 5 minions on the board at turn 5. Going into turn 6, I think it is. That's just not good. I'm potentially going to take a lot of damage in this one. Especially against someone who's playing elementals, who just devastated 2 of my minions before I was even able to do anything. So yeah, I take a lot of damage here. Which I think brings me into the next real big issue that I have, and I've heard other streamers talk about it, is the amount of damage that you can take per turn has really changed the dynamic of how this game is played. Games aren't really going deep into being able to get the 6th tavern tier and play that tavern tier very much anymore. You're lucky if you can get 6 and play it for a few turns now against a full group of people. You can get tavern tier 6 if you rush, and you can have 5 or 6 turns with it. See, I gave up a triple of the boost, which I should have kept him, because instead of getting +1 attack for each Murloc, I would get +2 attack for each Murloc. A lot of this game, I've come to realize after playing it for a little while, is understanding the value of each card and how they interact with each other, and how you can scale them. And really right now the big thing is poison with Murlocs, and I've just now got myself up to the tier where I can get the Viofin or the Toxfin or whatever he's called. But beyond that, you really have to learn and understand. So, like, I like this version of Hearthstone because you don't really have to put any money into it. You can play it without the battle pass. You'll be a little limited on what you can do, but you can play it. That being said, if you get the battle pass, it's a lot more fun, but you really have to understand and learn the cards that you're going to be playing. And I think I have one more turn after this, and then I'm out. I haven't made very intelligent decisions on the cards that I've bought and on the cards that I've sold. I froze and didn't even take the Murloc that I froze for. And as you can see here, Tavern Tier 3, which if you're playing Murlocs, you kind of rush to get to Tavern Tier 3, because that's where you get the +1/+1 to all Murlocs, the Murloc that gives you +2 health, the Murloc that gives you Toxic, I think, is Tier 3. He might be Tier 4. But I should have made him into a triple by now. I've gotten plenty of Murlocs to be able to do that. And I end up conceding because I know that what I have on the board's not good enough. So that was a little bit of like showing you what I've done wrong, how I did it wrong, and the consequences of doing that. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate you watching the stream and liking and subscribing. I'll be streaming Amazon's New World in the evenings at 10 o'clock on Twitch and on YouTube. Have a good day, guys.